have super congestion to the point where it's unusable.
Yep. My N77 in my house is congested right now. Yep, Moose and Carlos are both right. Yep.
So
Unlimited data is out the door.
I said this as well, and I was barked at. I don't
Mhm.
think unlimited data was ever sustainable. It never was. It probably never will be. Data is a commodity. You buy oil by the quart. You buy gas by the gallon. You buy
Yep.
wheat and barley by the
Yeah, but
bushel.
the carriers built it. Like they
no, but
decided
they
were
built
going to go
they
unlimited.
built it because the consumer wanted it. So they gave the consumer what they wanted.
Every
So with that,
consumer wants unlimited everything.
exactly. But you don't listen to the
But
consumer
in
when you
what
have
business? No,
you don't
the
listen to
carriers.
the long term. You don't listen to the consumer because it's the responsibility of the carrier to make sure that they be wise stewards over a finite resource.
Bro, I can't believe this, man.
It's the truth.
I literally got B capping for the industry right now.
And I'm not capping. It's the truth.
Yes,
Yo,
no,
this was
not the truth.
so. Why is it that I'm capping when it was just said 37 seconds ago by someone else? He said the same thing just now.
True. No, it's true that there's spectrum constraints and there's capacity limitations, but the carriers have monetized unlimited when people have been using 10 gigs of data.
But most people aren't using 10 gigs of data.
Sir, the average data use for the average customer, depending on the carrier, varies a little bit, but for the most part,
it's about 5 to 6.
20 gigs.
I thought it was like almost 30.
Maybe if it went up compared to last year, but the last data point we have, it was like 20 gigs. So my point is, we're talking about, for now, it's the power user that's the trouble, but the carriers themselves have literally oversold to folks, telling them they need unlimited. They are willing to sell them unlimited. Now it's not sustainable because we always knew it wasn't going to be sustainable. We're all in agreement there. But they have sold unlimited to people because they were taking advantage, selling them at a higher rate. If you were selling a per gig to people when the gig was $5, but the folks were using 2 gigs, it's a $10 line access. The carriers didn't want to make $10 a line. They wanted to sell people on unlimited so they could sell it for $80.
But all the carriers didn't even want to sell unlimited to
Then
begin
why
with.
did they?
Because they were forced to. All of them were forced to. There was all right. Okay. So one of the carriers, Verizon, was the last one to go unlimited. Why do you think that was? In your opinion, why do you think that was?
Because everybody else did and they were growing and Verizon wasn't.
Okay. So why were the other carriers growing and Verizon wasn't?
Because Verizon wasn't. That's why the other carriers were growing.
So it was because of unlimited, right?
No, it's like when Sprint launched Unlimited. Okay, that was like the first good thing that happened, right? And what did T-Mobile? T-Mobile, they took that and ran with it, but they made it better with perks and their uncarrier moves. So the consumers wanted it. It's a consumer-driven dynamic, and that includes unlimited data.
Thank you. Which is what I just said.
But data plans existed before unlimited data. And there was a time where there wasn't unlimited data.
Yes, they were tiered. People paid for what they used.
And if Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, whoever really didn't care, then they could have just discontinued them at any time in the last 15 years, or the last 10 years or whatever. For Verizon, it was 2017. For T-Mobile, I think it was like 13. For Sprint, it was like 11. I don't remember all the dates, but I'm just looking at it like that. It's like, how are we going to talk out of both sides of our mouth, man? How are we going to do that? Like, they literally, if I look at the 100% composition of each carrier's customer base, if the average consumer is using 20 gigs, that means on a bell-shaped curve, and I understand statistics. I took courses, so I don't need to be lectured by anybody on this, but I'm just saying, I got a bell-shaped curve where a majority of users are. The extremes where they don't use much and the extremes where they use too much. The carriers have been completely comfortable dealing with that, and they're good with it. Now all of a sudden it's a problem because more and more people are starting to use more data. This is all on them. To hell with them. I'm not blaming the customer for buying what they're selling. That's bullshit.
I think the problem now is that it's not necessarily unlimited data That's the issue. It's price. It's price now. What has been the overall factor with people choosing whatever plan they want? It's always based on price right now. They don't really say, oh, okay, is this going to have unlimited data or not? No, it's how much is this going to hit my wallet. Look at what's happened.
Yeah.
Look at what's happened with the Verizon price increases and the T-Mobile price increases and the AT&T price increase. Like, you know what I mean? This is what the norm is. No, you have the customers that's in the cell phone stores. What's the first words out of their mouth? How much is this plan going to cost me? How much am I going to pay? It's not saying, oh, does this plan have limited data?
It's funny how now that everybody is actually going to start using unlimited data, now we got to move to tiers.
Well, they weren't using it before. So why was everybody asking for it then if they weren't using it before? Come on, man. So how about this? Let's just say two things can be true. Because I'm not going to sit here and say the consumers didn't ask for / demand it, because collectively we did. We did.
Back in the day, you did.
Yeah, exactly. We're talking about back in the day. Yes, that's exactly what happened. We all collectively said we want unlimited data. To deny that is just to be not rooted in truth. So that did happen. Did carriers take that and find a way to monetize it? Well, yeah, that's what businesses do.
Yeah, they gave us fake unlimited.
Okay, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but
that's saying that you got unlimited, but really you got high speed limit, and then you got unlimited slow speed. That's fake.
Like a data cap or whatever, or a data cutoff, or
it's not tiered pricing.
You knew the fake unlimited is coming too. You knew I was going to say that.
Regardless of whether you say real or fake, your bill is the same regardless of what you use. So that's what we're talking about, and that's not a sustainable business model, and that's why I've said before it's going to change, because it has to.
You know, I think whatever changes that do happen, I think we can all agree on. It's always like, what is the carrier's first motive? It's always, how can they get the customer by the balls? Like, you know, like that's always what it has been.
Here's the thing: carriers can continue to offer unlimited, and if the customer is getting what they're paying for, life is good. They'll continue to pay their bill. Nobody's going to disconnect their line because the carrier raises the bill $2-3 a month, but they're getting more utility out of it. I've explained this to B before. When a customer is getting what they're paying for and they feel like it's warranted, like I said on a tweet,
they're happy. Yep.
I said, if Verizon raises my bill $1 to $2 on a line, but I'm doing more with that line than ever, I don't bat an eye. I pay the fee because I'm doing what I have to do to be productive. So my Google Maps are running, my music keeps playing, I'm uploading content for my YouTube channel, I'm hotspotting more data. See how I'm getting more utility? You don't bat an eye to a $1 to $2 price increase, right? The problem is going to be when I'm getting a price increase and I'm not getting something better, or I'm not getting more. That's going to be the consumer.
Or if you're a T-Mobile customer, then you know what that is. So.
I wouldn't bat an eye to
no, come on. T-Mobile has their price lock.
What's up, Pete?
I wouldn't bat an eye to a $5 increase on my line, but if they said I had to get off it, I'd stop watching and listening to video while driving and download my podcasts on Wi-Fi.
Exactly.
There you go.